Good morning, friends. Welcome to a vlog. I am trying to do a little bit of thinking and prepping to get ready for Vlogmas. And so I was thinking it would probably be beneficial to me to go ahead and try and make a couple vlogs here in November in preparation and in getting ready for Vlogmas. My brains are not working very well today. The baby was kind of up and down, and he got up and we were out on the couch for like 30 minutes or something in the night, and and then both boys were up very early. So what I am doing now is the baby's napping, the toddler's doing a little bit of ABCs on the iPad. There's an app called Starfall that's really great. There's a couple different ones. One that has just like the ABCs on it, and then there's one that has a few more like educational game things. And they also have like little books. He's looking at one right now that's all about a day in the life of a firefighter, which is the thing. I am, while they are preoccupied, I am trying to go ahead and get, oh, those are cute, the pattern for a pair of fingerless gloves printed. I'm going to be trying to make my husband some fingerless gloves for his birthday, which is in like 10 days. I'm insane sometimes. There was a specific pattern, and I have it kind of saved on my phone, but then my phone is being used to play music for the baby, so I have to see if I can find that. Oh, there's so many cute fingerless glove patterns. I'm just on Ravelry. I'm trying to see if I can find it quickly. Because he wants one that has, there it is. It's the Flint Gloves by Chelsea Romvari. I have no idea. Oh, it's in my library. I'm such a nincompoop sometimes. It's this really simple, I'll see if I can put a picture up. It's a really simple ribbed glove, and it has the individual fingers. And so I am going to try and make those. They're going to be a little bit complicated just because they have all the individual fingers, but that's what my husband wants. So I'm going to try and make it for him. Adult small and adult large. So there's two sizes. It's really cool, the ribbing detail on it. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get this printed, and then I'm gonna try and go ahead and get it cast on. I do not need, wait, do I need all the pages? Do I need that one? The small size is designed to fit a hand that is 7 inches across the knuckles, and the large size is designed for a hand that has 8 inches across the knuckles. My husband and I have very similar size hands, so I will measure my hand and figure that out. Okay, we're going to print this. Don't need that, don't need that. Let's go ahead and do it double-sided. Do not print it in color because I don't have color. Cool, perfect. Okay. I'm going to get that printed and then try and cast it on. I got some Cascade 220 fingering weight in the non-superwash because I was getting, sorry, you can probably hear the printer now. It's a very loud printer. We'll just wait for that to get done. It'll be fast. Okay, that's done. I had to get some yarn from a place called Little Knits online. This was like a month ago, 2 months ago. For a test net that I'm doing for a cardigan. I specifically needed some non-superwash yarn, which I don't have any of. Well, I had a couple small skeins, but not enough for a cardigan. And so while I was at it, I went ahead and got some black Cascade 220 fingering weight to make my husband, hopefully, a hat and some fingerless gloves. The hat is definitely not getting done by his birthday. I'm trying to get him some socks and the finger scuffs done by his birthday. This is kind of an issue where I'm trying to get ahead of it for next year, where I end up getting to this point and I've done so many other things throughout the year that then I'm trying to scramble to get all of the birthday and Christmas present stuff done at the end, and it's just really frustrating. So I'm trying to think through that for next year and figure out ways to be better about that, because I don't like being stressed and on edge for all of November and December because there's so many birthdays and anniversary and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the things happening all at once in a period of like 8 weeks. So I'm trying to do some planning for next year, and I think what I'm going to start trying to do is like have a jar with paper slips in it and have like different gift projects, and then each month try and make one and see if that helps. But we're still in the planning phases for that. Anyway, I'm going to take this pattern out there, try and get it cast on, tell my toddler he's done doing his school, and probably let him play with some kinetic sand. He's been really into doing that, which is great. And the weather is supposed to be very nice today again, and so we'll probably be outside for much of the day, which will be amazing. I'm so tired. Anyway, let's go do that. Am quickly cutting up for the boys some apple for a snack. It's a really nice day outside. I'm honestly overdressed for it, but that is pretty normal. I'd rather overdress and then gradually shed layers than be underdressed and cold. But yeah, I'm struggling today. I'm grumpy and short of patience and just and I hate it because I know that I'm being kind of grouchy, but it's like I'm just so tired, and that's kind of why I started filming today, because I was like, well, maybe it'll kind of help me if I can feel like I'm talking to somebody and I can kind of, I don't know, talk it out, get outside of my head a little bit more. But yeah, no, it's really, really lovely outside, and the boys are really enjoying it, which is great. I'm so glad. This is the time of year when our yard really comes into its own. We can hardly use it over the summer because of the mosquitoes, but in the spring and the fall, it is absolutely magical because I can just go out there with them. We don't have a completed fence yet, so I can't leave them out there by themselves for long periods of time. For stuff like this where I'm like getting them snacks, that's okay, but they're a little too prone to trying to escape. And we're hoping to get a fence done at some point, eventually. There's one in progress. It's just there's a whole story to why it is not done yet, but it's not done yet. So I very much have to stay out there with them. But they are both old enough now that I can come in for little bits like this. I don't have to haul everybody back inside just to get snacks, which I am very grateful for. But yeah, I got the fingerless mitten cast on, and I'm working away on the socks because I'm thinking, okay, let's get the socks off the needles, and then let's really focus on getting these fingerless gloves done, because I realized that I need to get them done in like, I have like 5 days per glove. So, hopefully I can get them done in time. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and kill myself too much over it because my husband's not gonna like that. So, but yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to work on, and I'll probably get a good chunk done on the sock, or get the sock done today. I have a feeling I could get it done today if I really work on it, and I work on it a bunch during nap time, which I might end up doing. I'll either work on the sock or I will work on the fingerless gloves, one or the other. We shall see. But yeah, I just hate it when I don't get enough sleep, and I feel like that's a reoccurring theme in my life at the moment. And most days I'm okay, but there are definitely days like today where I just been feeling it, and I don't know if it's because it's like back to back to back nights of no sleep, or not no sleep, but much interrupted sleep. And baby he's teething. I think he's trying to get his canines in, and so it's just a long and slow process, and that's just how it goes. But yeah, so I always feel like when I'm short on sleep, I'm short on patience, and I'm short on like my sense of humor. Because a lot of times I try, when the boys are being rascally, to think of it as them being rascally rather than maliciously naughty, because 99% of the time that's the case. Like, they're not really at the age yet that they can be maliciously naughty. And so I really try to think of it as them just being rascally, and half the time it's hilarious. Like, kids being naughty and the things that they come up with to do and the attitudes they throw and stuff, they're really funny. But then when I'm short on patience, I'm just like, everything you're doing is naughty. And it gets so frustrating because I just feel like I'm like yelling at them the whole day. But not yelling, but telling them no and whatever. But yeah, so I'm trying to walk around, kind of think, kind of pray, kind of enjoy the beautiful weather, enjoy the fact that we're all here and healthy and strong and we're okay. Like, you know, like, it's all good. I'm just tired. Anyway, that's my catch up for now, and I'm going to get back out there and try and sit and knit on my socks for a little bit, because that helps. So, okay, the boys are down for their nap time. Finally. So tired. I managed to get a good bit done on the sock while I was watching them and walking around in the yard. So this is the first sock. I love how this yarn looks. This is like so cool. I did something a little different in this one. I'm going to experiment with this. It looks a little funny if you look at it. You see how it's got kind of a bubble here? I worked a few short rows right above the heel. You can see that there. To try and see if that would kind of push the back side of the sock up when you're wearing it. Because I find that when I have these type of ankle socks on, in hand knit socks, that's the side that seems to want to slip down lower. So I'm experimenting, and these are for my husband, so I'm going to see if he notices any difference or whatever. But yeah, and then I ended with just a typical toe. I left it actually about, I think I ended up going down to 16 stitches on each needle, so 32 stitches total. And I've been doing this a lot more recently with my socks. Well, this might be the second pair of socks I've knit this year. I did some socks for a test knit for Neil of Blocked Magazine, and so I think this is only the second pair of socks I've knit this year. I've just had zero desire to knit socks this year, which is fine. It comes and goes. But the last few pairs of socks that I have knitted, I've done this where I leave the toe nice and wide, and I find that it works better because there's more room, so I'm getting less immediate like wear and tear right here at the corners where your toes rub. And so I really like doing that. I just knit more stockinette and then have a really short toe. So yeah, so that's the first sock. And then on the second sock, I managed to get to this stripe here. So I have that much left of the sock. So it's coming along great. I'm really happy that these have flown by so quickly. The amount of yawning I'm doing is just ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit. I've got a video to edit that I want to get uploaded. I've got a knitting podcast that I've had edited for like 3 days, and I just need to sit down and get it put onto YouTube. So I'm gonna do that and get work on my book video that I'm editing. I think I'm probably gonna put in some time on my husband's cardigan sleeve, just because I can work on the sock when the boys are up, but it's a little bit harder to work on the cardigan because it's just getting so bulky. So here we are. I am marking my decreases on the sleeve with stitch markers, and I just did this here recently. I tried it for the first time on the kids stick season sweater that I just knitted, and it was so nice. I didn't have to like use a row count or anything. I just put a marker on whatever decrease row, and then I work the next amount of rows and then do another decrease. And I've seen people doing it, and I was just like, it seems a little bit too fiddly to mess with, but it has honestly been so nice. I don't have to worry about using a row counter. I just do this and it's amazing. So I have to do 13 decreases, and I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 3 more decreases to do, and then I think it's just straight until the sleeve is long enough. So that'd be great. I'm really happy that this is coming along, and I'm making progress on it. I'm like ever so slightly worried that it's not gonna fit. I think that that's another part of the reason why I've been like dragging my heels on this, is I'm just like, what if it doesn't fit right? Because for me, it's like I know how to. It's kind of my whole same thing that I had with sewing, where I don't really love sewing things for other people because I don't know how to make it fit them. But I have spent the last, 15 years fitting me. And so I know how to make the changes for my body, but I don't know how to do it for other people. And so I'm just paranoid that it's not going to fit, and it's going to be too big and slouchy and just going to keep powering through. Gonna get it done. But yeah, I am excited. I am hoping to get this done this year. That would be a huge thing to get done this year. That would just be, it would be amazing. I would feel so light and free for the new year. But yeah, so I think I'm going to work on that a little bit because it's pretty mindless. It's just doing a decrease every few rows. And so with my markers, I just keep track of that, and it's pretty great. I did get the fingerless mitts cast on. They're very, I should actually make sure this will go over my hand because I just did it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I also did realize that this will work for the politically incorrect knitters. They're, what is it? Puritanical Knitting Fun Run or something? I can't remember exactly what the right knit along name is, but if I can get it done by my husband's birthday, then that would mean that it would be done by the end of November, which is when the deadline is for all of that. So maybe I can get it done. We'll see. I have had the realization that something that I'm going to be a little bit more aware of for next year is not only am I going to scale back significantly on the amount of test knits that I'm doing, I'm also going to scale back on the knit-alongs that I'm going to try and participate in, just because I'm realizing that there's a few projects that I did that I made myself do that I was like, oh, I'm doing this because I have the yarn and everything and it works, but they weren't really the things that I like really wanted or needed to get done. More like wanted, the things that I really wanted to get done. And I don't want to just make stuff just to fit specific criteria. I really want to actually like make the things that are really important to me. Like I'm very disappointed in myself that I didn't get the there's a felt nativity advent that I was like, oh man, I'm totally gonna make that this year. I'll spend the whole year and I'll make one every month or two and I'll have it done by Christmas. And it didn't happen, and I'm really disappointed. And so because of that, it's making me really stop and think about a lot of stuff, and just realizing that I think I've just been doing too much test knitting and too much paying attention to knit-alongs, and I need to stop both of those things and just make the things that I really truly want to make. So yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. But anyway, we're not going to get too dark and depressing and sad. I only have so much time. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on editing, and I will probably check in maybe one more time today. I'm not exactly sure how long this vlog is going to be or what, but we'll see. Yeah, I might check in one more time today and then call it quits, or I might carry it on into tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. So I guess we'll find out. Friends, it is the next day. It is actually my 5-year wedding anniversary this year, which is just lovely. 5-year wedding anniversary today. Which I'm just, I don't know, it's just, it feels like a special milestone to have hit 5 years being married to my wonderful husband. And it simultaneously feels like it's definitely been 5 years and like it's been about 5 minutes. Like, it's this funny mix of both, because it's been absolutely brilliant and we've lived a lot of life in the last 5 years. 2 kids later, you know. But yeah, so that's fun. We're not doing anything too crazy. I'm planning to make a chili for supper. I'm going to do a beef and chorizo chili. I'm kind of excited about that. And then today's Friday, so my husband, he has every other Friday off because he works a 980 schedule, I think is what it's called. And then on the Friday that he does work, he gets to get off an hour early, which is really nice, because that means that when he gets home, it might actually still be plenty light enough for us to take a proper walk outside. And the weather is just gorgeous today. It's like one of those peak perfect autumnal days. It's like in the low 70s. It's sunny and breezy and just, oh, I could not have asked for a better day today. So that's going to be really lovely. I'm going to see if he's up for a walk when he gets home, and we can walk, and then he'll probably take the boys out to the shed for their shed time with Dad. They've been loving that recently, and I've been loving it because it gives me a little bit of a break in the evening where I can either work on some sewing or I can do supper prep uninterrupted, and that's just so nice. So he'll probably do that while I make the chili, and then after the boys go to bed, we've got some stuff to do. Is it pronounced charcuterie? We've got some like fancy meat and cheese, and I think my husband's gonna get a bottle of wine because we like never drink. And so I can't really drink anyway because of my general health stuff, but also I'm nursing, but I can have a sip. And then I got a one of those like fancy pretty clean sodas so I can have a little bit of a special drink too. And we're just gonna have a nice cozy evening, and I'm so looking forward to it. It's gonna be just the best, and I just so love things like this. This is my kind of like date night. But yeah, so it's just gonna be a really nice day, and I'm so happy that it has worked out this way for our anniversary. It's just perfection. But yeah, so that's kind of what we've got going on today. We went to Hobby Lobby this morning because my toddler is really into the Frog and Toad books by Arnold Lobel. And in one of those books there's a story about Toad, and he and Frog go for a walk, and then Toad realizes that there's a button missing off of his jacket. And so then they go on this going back over their long walk and trying to figure out where this lost button is. And they keep finding all these different buttons, and then at the end Toad's just like, there's so many buttons in the world, and why isn't there my button, you know? Because they'll be like, there's a square button. He's like, no, my button's round. And there's a button that has like 4 holes, and he's like, no, mine has 2 holes, and stuff like that. So it's just a really fun story. And then he gets back home, and there was the button on the floor right inside his door. And so then he sews all of the buttons that they found on his jacket, and he gives it to Frog. And so my toddler is absolutely loving that. So he's been asking about buttons and buttons. And of course, as a crafter, I have a button jar. So I pulled it out this morning while the baby was napping, and he was like digging through the button jar and was like having so much fun. And then we went to Hobby Lobby, and he was like poring over all of the buttons, and I felt bad because I kind of had to rush him a little bit because I told him he could pick out some buttons. Like, that's why we went to Hobby Lobby, was so he could pick out buttons. And I had to rush him a bit because the baby was just like, come on guys, this is the most boring thing ever. I want to get out of the cart and just create chaos. But he found a couple of different buttons, and so we brought those home, and then I'm going to see if I can find an inexpensive jacket, either like a denim or some type of a heavier weight canvasy type of a jacket, and then I'm probably going to try and sew a bunch of buttons on it, and he will think it's really funny and cute. So that was our day today so far. And then yeah, just nap time, and then just lovely, cozy, homey life. I have not been able to get this sock finished. I can't remember where I was when I last showed you. I should have put a progress keeper in. Maybe on this blue stripe. So I've done a good bit more. I'm getting close to, actually, let me check and see. I've got to do decreases. Okay, it's the next brown stripe is where I need to pay attention. So I've only got about 1.5 inches maybe left to go on the toe. So that'll be lovely. I can get these done quickly. But yeah, so I have a couple things. We're doing a little bit of a knit and chat here because I'm gonna try and finish out this video and maybe start getting it edited. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna sit on the couch and watch some of Kirsty Knits and Sews, some of her videos. I've been watching. So I found her because it was a YouTube suggestion, and then she talked about her 12 cast-ons of Christmas, and so I went back and watched her entire 12 cast-ons of Christmas playlist in like 2 days. It was so much fun. And then after I did that, I just started watching through all of the episodes that she has, or all of the videos that she has uploaded this year in 2025, because I want to know what happened with all of her 12 cast-ons of Christmas. Like, I need to like see the story go. And so I've been catching up with that, and then she just posted a new episode maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I just watched that one. So I'm like watching all of her backlog for 2025, and then watching the rest as she releases them. And then I've also been going back and watching Shauna from Shauna Stitches. I've been watching her 2023 Tour de Fleece because I was asking Shauna about some spinning and spinning recommendations, and this is kind of where the knit and chat is going to go because I want to chat with you guys about it. And she said that I'm looking into drop spindling because there's no way I have the budget for an actual spinning wheel, and frankly my house is too small for a spinning wheel. And so I was thinking about drop spindling, and I was like, man, I wonder if that could work. And so then I was messaging Shauna about it, and she said that she did her entire 2023 Tour de Fleece on a drop spindle. And so I've been watching through those videos. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through, and it's so much fun to watch through that. Like, oh, so interesting. I've been intrigued by the thought of spinning for a while, and I feel like this year feels like the year to actually try and like look into actually doing it. And it's from Shauna and Kirsty that I've been watching. I watched Shauna's Tour de Fleece for this year, which was so fun to watch. It was so interesting, and I just, oh, it was just lovely. And then Kirsty was talking about in her 12 cast-ons, there's one bit where she's one of the projects that she was casting on required some spinning. She had to spin the yarn in order to cast on the project. And so she was talking about spinning, and I want to try spinning. Like, I really, really do. And I think the other part of it too is that I'm really realizing that my goals for next year when it comes to my knitting and crafting is I want to slow down a good deal, and I want to be a little bit more intentional about the projects that I'm choosing and knitting, and to not just do projects for test knits or knit-alongs. I want to really, really try to do the projects that I've been really, really wanting to do my entire time of knitting. There's a few sweaters, and I'll talk more detail on this because I'm planning to do the 12 cast-ons at Christmas. I don't know if I'll cast on 12 projects. I might do like 5 or 10 or something, a little bit more reasonable. A little more reasonable for the amount of needles that I have and my life as it is right now. But there are sweaters and projects that I have been wanting to knit for literally years, and I just keep putting them off, and I'm a little tired of it. I just keep doing the new thing, and I can't get these other projects out of my head. I still think about them. And so there are things that I really want to make. I'll just tell you a little sneak peek. One of them is the Owls sweater by Kate Davies, and this was one of the first sweater patterns one of the first knitting patterns I ever bought. Also the light is kind of going in and out, so now everything looks a little bit blue, but the sun should come back out in just a minute. And I have been wanting to knit that pattern for years. Now, I'm a bit more of an aware knitter and advanced knitter, and I have realized that the construction for that sweater is not really the construction that works best for me and my body. It's a bottom up, and so you knit like the body, and then you knit each sleeve, and then you kind of join them all together and up. And so I'm scheming ways to adjust it and just take the owl chart and put it into a different pattern, like the ranunculus sweater, and just instead of doing the ranunculus neckline, see if I can get the stitch count to match up and do the owls on the ranunculus sweater. So I have to look into that, but that's one of the projects that I really want to do. I want an owl sweater. So back to the spinning. With that wanting to slow down and everything, I just think that spinning would be so different from any of the other crafting that I do, and yet still connected. And I love the look of hand spun yarn. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I knew I did, but then seeing some of Shauna's hand spun yarn and then some of Kirsty's hand spun yarn, I'm just like, oh man. Oh my goodness. I want some hand spun yarn and I want to spin it. So I'm looking into some of that. I'm trying to find a drop spindle kit because the thing that I love about the drop spindle is it's so small. Like, I was talking with my husband about it and I was like, I think I really want to try this. And he was like, okay, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but we're hoping to have another kid next year, and your crafting time is going to shrink down even more than it already is. And you know, like, have you thought about that? I was like, yes, I have thought about that. That's why I'm also specifically looking at a drop spindle. It'll be really easy to just pop up on the shelf and I can take it down and do a few minutes here and there. And there's so little setup and takedown involved. And that was the other thing too, is that I love about it, is that I think you can drop spindle while you're sitting, but for the most part, you're standing. And I definitely need some more standing related crafts in my life, because right now I have pretty much zero. I can do a little bit of like sock knitting while I'm walking or standing, but it would be really nice to have something that is like kind of specifically you do some standing. But yeah, so I'm really looking into that. My budget is around $30, give or take a little bit, because this is the other kind of funny part. This is what I mean. This is a full-on knit and chat here at the end. It's just very chatty. But, okay, I had to adjust the lighting because it was annoying me that I was looking so blue. A few years ago, I don't even remember how long ago, there was some Facebook class action lawsuit, something or another, that they were doing, and of course I got an email about it because I was on Facebook within the time range for the lawsuit that they were doing, and so I put in my information for that and didn't really think anything more of it. Well, then here in October, I think it's finally that lawsuit. I don't even know, I'm telling you, it could have been 5 years ago that I signed up for this thing and I just completely forgot about it. I got an email saying, hey, the lawsuit is finished. They are, what is the word? My dad would know if he was watching. He's a lawyer. They resolved the case or whatever, and so they're distributing the I don't know the word. They're distributing the had to fix the focus. Proceeds, whatever, the benefits for the people that were involved in the case. And so I got like a random $30 that I was not expecting to get. And so I was going back and forth and I was thinking about making a Knit Picks order and getting a bunch of like the Knit Picks, Brava sport yarn to knit kids clothes. We've got babies that are coming in the family. I'm hoping to have more babies, and some of my siblings are having babies, and my kids I love making sweaters for them. And so I was like, oh, I'll just get some really nice kid-friendly yarn and all this, and I was going on there. But then they do the thing where it's like you have to spend $75 in order to get free shipping, and if you don't, then you have to pay $7 for shipping, and then that $7 with the sales and stuff that are going on, that's like 3 skeins of yarn, and I just can't justify that. And so then I was agonizing over it, and then I was just like, you know what? No. I think this $30 is meant to be for my drop spindle kit. I think that's what it should be. I have plenty of yarn. If there's any babies and stuff that I need a specific like color scheme, if it's a boy or a girl or whatever that's involved, and I need a pink yarn or something that I don't already have, I can go to Hobby Lobby and buy 1 skein of yarn and it'll be fine. Like, we will make it work. And so that's what I'm planning to do. I've been doing some research and looking on Etsy, and now the sun came back out, and so now everything's super yellow again. Isn't that just the way that it goes? I've been looking on Etsy and trying to find a good drop spindle kit. So my question is, like, this whole convoluted story is to ask if any of you have any recommendations or tips for where you like to source your fiber, where you would recommend getting drop spindles from, if any of you are spinners, like any of your tips or tricks or things that you have found that really helped you. Yeah, any of that type of stuff. If you have any recommendations, I would love it if you could leave it in a comment down below and just let me know, because I'm planning to kind of hold off still for a couple weeks here, because I'm sure there's going to be sales and things around Black Friday. But I'm just trying to do my research and whatnot now and try and decide, because I think what it will be is I'm not going to start probably until maybe mid-December at the earliest, if not end of December, beginning of January. So there's not a huge rush, because I've got so many knitting gifts that I want to make, and I keep thinking of more to add to the list of things to make. And so I'm not going to have time. But I really, really, really want to give it a try this year. I want 2026 to be the year that I try spinning, and I spin some hand spun yarn and knit something out of that hand spun yarn. Like, I really, really want to do that. I'll be 30. I'm turning 30 this year, so it feels like a special, like, I don't know, not, you know, let's say turn of the century, but like it's the next stage of life where it's like the truly adulthood. And I don't know, I feel like it would be so special to start spinning when I turn 30. Like, that would be just amazing. I don't know why, but yeah, so I would love to know if you guys have any places that you like to get fiber from, or if any of you guys, if you happen to have a drop spindle that you don't need or don't want to use anymore, I would love to purchase it from somebody, you know. I don't have to get a brand new one. So yeah, if any of you have that, I would really love to hear about that. So there is that. And then the other random question that I have here is connected to my hair. My hair, since having kids, it's kind of got a life of its own. And I just wanted to ask if any of you had naturally curly or wavy hair and have shampoo or conditioner that work really well for you. Because I feel like I keep trying random things, especially here recently, and none of it just seems to work very well. And this is like second day. Like, I washed it yesterday and I put a little bit of hair gel in it or whatever. Like, is there some magical routine that people are doing that make their hair like look all curly and nice? Because like, this is second day and like, there's some curl to it, but like not really. And one side is less curly than the other side, and I know some of that's genetics. Like, my mom and I have had conversations about how she's like, I'm so sorry I gave you my hair genetics. Where it's like, I've got all of it. I've got straight bits, I've got corkscrews, curly bits on the bottom, and I've got wavy bits, and like, I've got all of it. All of it is in my hair. But I just want to know, because I know there's the whole curly girl method or whatever, and that just seems so labor intensive to like have to do this whole, like, I don't know, however many step routine every time you want your hair to look nice. And I don't have the time for that. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 little boys, and I've got busy days, and in the mornings, like, it's hard enough to remember to brush my teeth. Thank you very much. Like, I don't have time for a whole ordeal of a hair styling routine. So basically, I guess my question is that if any of you are also busy wives and moms and whatnot, if you have any tips or recommendations for products that work really well, that are really quick and easy to kind of slap in there and go. I can't really blow dry my hair, because then it makes my scalp super oily, and I have to like wash my hair immediately. Like within, if I blow dry my hair in the morning, it's feeling itchy and weird by evening. Like, it doesn't work. My hair and scalp do not like heat. Using a curling iron doesn't really work with my hair. The curls don't stay very well. And even I've been finding pin curling is not working as well as it used to be, or as it used to. And maybe some of that with the pin curling is that maybe I'm not putting enough like gel or whatever in it. But yeah, I feel like I'm really struggling with my hair these days, and it's really annoying. Like, you would think that it's not that big of a deal, but it's that big of a deal. So yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, I would love to hear about it. Anyway, I think I have chattered on enough for this vlog. If you have made it all the way through, thank you so much for hanging out with me and chit-chatting. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to get maybe one more of these out this month, and then we're on to Vlogmas in like 2.5 weeks or something. So stay tuned for that. I'm definitely going to try and do it this year, and I'm pretty excited about it. Again, this is the first year that I've not had a pretty young baby or been morning sick in, let's see, I was morning sick with my first in 2021, so 4 years straight. 4 Christmases straight, is that right? Morning sick, and then small baby, and then morning sick, and then small baby. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, and being able to kind of enjoy Christmas a little bit more without feeling sick all the time from being early pregnant or from dealing with the sleep challenges of a very tiny baby. So I'm looking forward to trying to do all kinds of little festive things. Not really that much, just a few things here and there, but it'll be fun. It's all good. So, like I said, thank you for watching. I've been very chatty here. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.